Welcome back, Last Request Barbecue Show. This episode's inspired by Matt Pittman at Meat Church. We are going to make ribs, not just any kind of ribs. We're going to make double rye ribs. Check this out from my very good friends at MarketDial, all the way from Park City, Utah, double rye whiskey. So that's going to be one of the main ingredients. So for our ribs, we are using the Gospel. And for the sauce, we're going to use his Holy Cow, both of which are delicious seasonings. Our recipe today, we're not using ketchup. My good friend Mike Pramucci, he's got a great line, does a lot of great, amazing pizza stuff. If you're in the GTA, visit his store. He's got one in Scarborough, one in Vaughan. Check this out. We're going to crush these up. That's going to be the base, but then there's going to be some maple syrup and all kinds of great stuff. So without further ado, let's get going. All right, let's get started with our ribs. We are cooking on the Yoder today. Thank you to my friends, as always, at Dubreton for supplying this amazing organic product. Quick inspection, not much to do here. I am going to take off the back. Boy, this is not wanting to come off. This is coming off in little bits and pieces. Not great television, but sometimes it's going to happen. There we go, that's better. There we go, there we go, here we go! Ah, success, woohoo! Finally. All right, so onto these, we're gonna put our binder. I got my pre-mix here of mustard and Worcestershire sauce. That's a bit too much, but I'll spread that around. Got this from Jerby, from Goldie's. His ginder, I think he calls it. All right, so now onto here. We're no pepper. I'm just gonna go straight with the Gospel. I've tried this on already, and it is really fantastic. Adds a nice red tint to everything, nice mahogany tint. Flavor is fantastic. Get a little bit of the side here. Perfect, perfect, perfect. All right, let's repeat. A little less binder this time. Beautiful rack of ribs. And once again, from our friends at All BBQ Canada, there it is, we're using the Gospel. Singing the Gospel. Matt would like to say, I'm not mad at that. If you're a barbecue fan, be sure we'll be watching Matt Pittman's Meat Church YouTube series and a bunch of other stuff. Great education. He's an entertaining guy. So a shout out to Matt if you're watching. Love your product. And we're just going to pat that in. And that's it. We're going to get these ribs on at 275 for 2 hours. Then we're going to wrap in aluminum foil with the sauce, a little butter, a little other stuff. So right now we just want this to soak in for a little bit. Not too long, about 10 minutes. Let's just have a drink of my beverage. I'm having a bit of Stiegel, nice little light Radler. And cheers to my friends at the order counter from the RSPA, who gave me this ginormous cup. Really loving it. All right, we'll let them soak in, and we'll get them over to the Yoder. Check out that mahogany color of those ribs. Man, very nice, very nice. All right, they're about ready to go on. Tighten these up a little bit. There we go. Perfect. 275 for 2 hours. All right, well, the ribs are on. Let's get to making our rye sauce, our rye barbecue sauce. We're gonna start off with some tomatoes. Now, you could crush up some tomatoes as I did. You could use some ketchup as well. I used, as I said, Mike Pramucci's Italian tomatoes, which just smell just amazing. A little bit of fresh basil in there as well. So let's pour that in. To that, we are gonna put in a cup of brown sugar. We are gonna put in a tablespoon of pepper, about that much. Tablespoon of Matt's Holy Cow Meat Church rub. You may or may not want to measure. I, of course, what does he say? He's a seasoning pro. So there we go. About a tablespoon of Meat Church. It can't be a rye sauce without rye. So once again, I'm using this High West whiskey, bottled in Utah from my friends at MarketDial, brought to me here in Toronto. So thanks to Stephen, Morgan, Johnny, Josh for bringing me this wonderful bottle. I've tried it obviously a little bit already. It's got some spice to it. It's got a hint of creamsicle, if I guess you get creative on these descriptions. And about this distillery, the High West Distillery, they're an independent distillery for a bunch of years. They got bought a couple of years ago for like $160 million apparently by Constellation Brands. But as Constellation Brands does, they kind of leave them alone to make their great products. So I'll put a link in the show notes. So we're going to pour in about 150, 165 milliliters of this amazing whiskey. There we go. We're not going to bring it to a boil, but we're going to have it a good simmer for about a half an hour. So let's mix all that together. going to reduce down quite nicely, and we'll go from there. All right. It actually wound up simmering more for like 45 minutes because I think from the tomatoes versus the ketchup. And I did forget to put in Worcestershire sauce, so put in a tablespoon, a good tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. All right, so I got the white cotton gloves on here so I can handle the hot product coming right out. So in this step, it's been on for a couple hours. You can see some bones start to tip out there. So take a good piece of aluminum foil here. And what we're going to do is lay down the ribs first backside down. And then in front of them, we're going to lay down 3 things. So thing 1 is some really good butter. So find the best butter you can find. This I used President from Lactalis. Next, maple syrup. Matt used agave syrup, which is a bit thicker. I found this at my Pramucci store. It is a smoked maple syrup, and it had just a delicious flavor and aroma, so I wanted to use this one. Matt Pittman uses brown sugar, which you can certainly use as well. I use maple sugar here, so I'm doubling up on the maple ingredients and a bit of the Canadian in this recipe. Over there we go. We flip the ribs onto the product, and then we wrap them up nice and tightly so that they kind of have a chance to cook. Of course, they're not getting any more smoked now with that aluminum foil around it. They're getting a bit of the smoke from the maple syrup, but we put them back on for about, about another hour and a half, give or take. All right, well, our ribs have been cooking for another hour and a half in the aluminum foil, so let's take a look. Check that out. Fantastic. Now we're going to build a little boat here, and then we're going to put our sauce on. Sauce on, and then tack it up a bit. So we'll put it back on the heat with this open to just tack up. All right, our ribs are done and they look spectacular. Check that out. Amazing. Let's give them a cut. Let's see how we've done. They're falling apart, which is good. Always a tricky one to cut to find the bone. These bones are really on an angle here, so I'm actually gonna, there we go, there. Takes a little while to find the groove. Just falling apart, beautiful. Now, let's give one a taste and see how we've done. Oh, check out that smoke ring. Amazing, let's give them a taste. Oh, these are amazing. The hint of the rye adds a spice and this kind of, I don't know, creamsicle. With the sweetness, butter, the maple syrup, make these ribs. These are fantastic ribs. Bon appetit, everybody!